Like, you can fall for the bait one time and then you'll learn.
Yeah.
Of course, I've thought it was too good to be true. I've tried drop shipping, I've tried everything.
Right.
And that's why I reckon some people from school started car detailing, because they saw, oh, he went to my school, he's got a business, must be easy cleaning cars.
Yeah. But inevitably they'll learn that nothing is easy. And
it's not just cleaning cars, it's running a business, and running a business is hard.
It is.
Way harder than I thought.
A massive thank you to Casbolt's Motorcycles here at 6 Gasson Street for sponsoring the episode of the 10 Million in 10 Years podcast, authorised dealer of Honda and Ducati motorcycles.
Welcome to the 10 Million in 10 Years podcast. I'm David, your host. I've got Oakley with me today. I am very excited to have you on the podcast today, Oakley. You've been on a couple of podcasts. You've listened to a few episodes of this. We've crossed paths at the gym a few times, and super keen to hear your story. From what I can gather, you're an energetic, pumped up young entrepreneur out there doing it, taking a risk, making it happen in the arena, as they say. So welcome to the podcast, Oakley. Glad to have you here.
Thank you very much, David. I really appreciate it. And this is a bit surreal for me because I've been watching and I'm seeing all these Christchurch business owners and people that I respect go on here, and now I am. It's a bit full circle.
Absolutely amazing. So for myself and the viewers, listeners, why don't you maybe start at, say, where'd you grow up?
I am from Timaru, Little Timaru. I grew up in Timaru until I was 3 years old. Then I moved to Christchurch with my mum. My mum's a single mother. She had me when she was 19, and my grandparents have helped support me and my mum have a life in Christchurch. And I go down to Timaru. Throughout my whole life, I've been going down to Timaru to work for my grandparents. They have a small catering business down there at Farlap Raceway. So that's kind of where I got my passion for business, working in the family business, seeing how hard they work and always being around them. So yeah, always going back to Timaru, but Christchurch is my home.
Yeah, nice. I like Timaru and I like small towns. I feel that there's a heightened element of community and people tend to know each other a bit more, right?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone. Even Christchurch to me is a small town, and I don't even want to be in a big place. I want to live in the country, hopefully in Canterbury.
Oh yeah? Yeah. Is that one of the dreams?
That's the dream.
Yeah. Whereabouts in particular?
Probably around the river, so I can go forward driving.
Oh yeah, cool.
Around the Waimak.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Very good. So growing up in Timaru, coming to Christchurch, and now, what were you doing before you started your business?
So I'm 20 now. Did the normal high school, finished high school year 13. Didn't go to graduation because I was naughty. So I was troubled throughout high school. Went to university and studied business because I love business. I studied it in that first year out, but I hated it. I rarely ever showed up to uni. I just didn't enjoy it at all. The only reason I did show up to uni was to see a girl. So yeah, I decided to not continue it. I remember seeing an Alex Hormozy video, and he said, if you want to start a business, what skill do you have? And I knew how to clean cars. So I started cleaning my neighbour's cars, and 18 months later, here we are. It's gone crazier than I ever could have imagined.
Yep. Love it. Did you adopt the Hormozy model for pricing? Like, did you start with free or did you start low cost? Or?
Not free, it was low. So we charged half what we did now, which was a good price for the level of service that we did. We're a real detailed clean, and people got good value out of it. And yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
And so you started and you were mobile grooming, detailing for the first little bit.
Yeah. So we're still fully mobile now, but now that I signed the lease on a shop 2 months ago. I've been spending all my time working, getting that up to being a place where I can bring cars and have business flow through there. But my employee Jack, he's been full-time mobile now for 8-9 months. He works Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday. So yeah, full-time mobile for him. And when I was not focusing on working the shop, I was mobile too, taking in on the overflow. So yeah, it worked out really good.
Yeah, nice. And when are you hoping to be open at the location?
I'm hoping within the next, I feel like I've been saying this for many weeks now, but I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 to 4. We'll go 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now I've been working on getting the inside all already. And now that's at 90%, I reckon. And now we're waiting on fences to go around the whole perimeter for security purposes. And the driveway is getting re-shingled, which will be good. And this is all being done by the owners, luckily. So it's kind of out of my control now. And then once that's all good to go, I'll get the signage up and make the outside of the building look pretty, because there's no point doing it now because it's just going to get graffitied.
Yeah.
Crap area.
It's a big step. It's a good big step, right?
It's a big step.
Yeah. What was that moment like when you signed that lease?
Oh, so that week I'd been negotiating. So it started out, I'd been looking on Trade Me. So I've known that I need to get a building to take the next step for a long time now. I can't always have a mobile business from my mum's house. So I've been browsing Trade Me, looking at leases for 6 to 8 months, and I'd seen a few gems that I missed out on, and they were still pricier than the one I got this for. And I saw this pop up the first day, messaged the real estate agent and organised a meeting. I went and had a look at it, and then a couple of weeks of negotiations went by, and I ended up in the end saying, I can't do this, I'm too scared, I'm too young. And that was mainly due to like other people, and I felt quite alone making the decision, because at the end of the day it is just me running my business, and all the liability is on me, a 20-year-old kid. So I was quite scared, and I just got overwhelmed and felt alone with the decision. And then the real estate agent came back to me, I guess you could call it fate, and he said, how about we do some staggered payments, so you pay less in your first years and it works up to more in your last years. So I ended up getting a better deal and also less risk at the start. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I've been working on getting the building up to scratch too, I'm not paying the lease either. So it's been great.
Yeah. That's a really good example of quality communication and negotiation, so that something works for both parties, right?
Yeah. And if it works, it works.
Yeah.
They're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, nice. And what's the first step? First port of call after opening? Is it to just continue pumping hard on the marketing? So there needs to be a marketing push, because at the moment, and that'll happen too once signage goes up. People will see the signage on this building on Colombo Street. Yeah. It's a really prominent spot. And also, I'll get an ad going out on Facebook, and I think LinkedIn will be really good for the customers that I'm going after. Yeah. And just basically telling Christchurch, here I am, kind of taking the naive approach of, I'm a 20-year-old, I just signed the lease to this business. If you want to come get your cars cleaned professionally, we are professional car detailers. Yeah. Come to 504 Colombo Street, or we'll come to your house, and we'll just start pumping that out and letting everyone know. Just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's been the average customer so far? Have they been...
it's all different, completely different.
Totally different.
But most of our work is to businesses, because I feel like businesses really value us coming to their location and not having to waste any of their time. Yeah. And just send the invoice and they've got a clean car.
Yeah. Win-win, right?
Yeah. And it's dirty cars, obviously, and there's the premium vehicles as well. All sorts of different. Yeah. Everyone's got a car. That's why I realised Cleaner Cars was something that I'd be able to work on for a long time, because it's a huge market. Everyone's got a car.
Yeah, totally.
And they'll keep getting dirty, so they'll keep coming back.
Do you have a subscription service at all?
No. It's something I've considered, of course, because you hear the recurring revenue, and it'd be nice.
Yeah.
But I tried it, and I just found that people didn't want it.
Right.
If you want your car cleaned, like recurring or maintained, you kind of go to I feel like people go to a tunnel wash or an espresso car wash and get a quick groom in between, and they might get a deeper clean a couple times a year or once a year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and everyone's different. Maybe if we did offer a recurring service at the shop that was obviously cheaper than the mobile, because we can't afford to get prices cheaper, then maybe people would want it.
Yeah,
things to try. Got 5 years at the shop.
Yeah,
lots of time to figure stuff out.
You do. Yeah, I was just thinking of it from a practicality standpoint. If I'm a business and I can just take it away from my cognitive load and just book it in, have it locked in, so it's happening, right?
Yeah. And that's why people value it at the moment, because it's just one email. Yep, we'll be there then.
Yeah. I guess that's the difference, though. Like you mentioned, the difference between, say, a faster wash and an actual full detail, right?
Yeah.
What maybe break that down a little bit for myself and the listeners.
So I would say a quick wash would be you're either going through a car wash that automatically does it for you, for a machine does it for you, or you're going to espresso car wash or a place like espresso car wash, and they're just giving it a quick, careless wash. And you might get a vac and a quick wipe and your windows clean, your tires shine quickly. A detail is we will go over every inch of your car and make sure it feels like a brand new car.
Nice.
And make sure it's done properly. Yeah. Because one thing that I learned after I started my detailing business, because I had experience cleaning cars at Espresso Car Wash, which I now know is like the bottom of the barrel in terms of professional car cleaning. So I thought I knew some stuff, but now I had to teach myself a whole lot of other stuff and become like, what's the word? I'd become an expert in my industry, because I wouldn't be confident selling these products and selling the service if I wasn't. So yeah, I've learned a lot, and I think detailing is just proper professional car cleaning. Yeah, taking real care and time.
Yeah.
Some people call it an art form. I don't, because I don't associate my ego with my work. But yeah, it's just professional car cleaning.
How long does it usually take to do a full car? Obviously, it depends on condition.
Our entry level service at the moment is about 3 to 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an inside and out.
Yeah. Yeah. I can totally see why it takes that long. Just after I got my car, a friend of mine and he knows what he's doing, we did the ceramic coating.
Oh yeah.
And to do that, you've got to do a full detail beforehand. And so despite being a new vehicle, like, it just took forever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just that preparation.
Yeah.
It's just the time. You can't trade the time for anything.
Yeah. So interesting though.
Yeah.
The process. Tell us about your TikTok game.
So TikTok is how I originally grew my business. So I started my business on Facebook community groups. So Beckenham community page, I live in Beckenham, and it has a community page of a couple thousand neighbours that like to support each other. And I posted to that group, hey neighbours, I've started a car cleaning business. I dropped out of university. I need some work to keep me busy. And then I got some neighbours replying, and that kept me busy. That booked me out for nearly 1 to 2 weeks. And then I filmed videos of me cleaning their cars and transforming them and posted them on TikTok, saying the exact same thing but with a voiceover. And then it got more views and I got business from it. And then I remember the day I was waiting for that one video to blow up, and a video blew up, got 500,000 views, and then that booked me out for a couple months. Wow.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Wicked.
And it was just a video of me working cleaning cars, and it was, hey New Zealand, or I would have started off with, I'm a 19-year-old New Zealander, I've just started my business, we clean cars in Christchurch. Just an ad. Wow. An organic free ad.
Amazing.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And so what's the account at now? Like, is it
we're at 40k followers.
40k followers, and is the average views increasing, decreasing, stable?
Yeah. They're stable at the moment. I get between 10 to 20 a video. I'm pretty inconsistent. As I told you the other day, since I got the shop, I had big plans to document the journey of this shop.
Yeah.
This 20-year-old renovating a commercial building, and it just went in the back burner. I got too busy. I've got all the footage. I've got lots of footage. That's not all of it, but it's just editing. Yeah. I don't have the time to edit or even think about it at the moment.
Gotcha.
I'd rather focus on urgent things in the business.
Totally, yeah. I mean, the sooner you can get up and running, the sooner you can generate more.
Yeah. Sooner we can start making some money back. That's the main thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I think that's a good, important point about business, right? Like, we can't do it all, and it is a case of prioritization and using your limited time and money. Yeah. And when you get in the position of having more time and money, hire good people to help. I cannot wait to get some good people on the team. Yeah. So Jack's been with you for almost a year now? Yeah,
apparently. So I hired him July 2023, which was, again, a big risk, a big step, but if I didn't take the risk then, I would have just kept waiting. Yeah. And it would have just kept taking longer. And it's the same with the lease. If I didn't take the risk, it could have never happened.
Totally.
Or it could have just delayed the inevitable. You might as well take the risk. Alex Hormozy says, everyone says it, take a risk when you're young, like you've got nothing to lose. I could not be doing this if I had kids and a family. I'm already stressed, I would hate to have other priorities.
Yeah. I think that's a good point though. Like, regardless of stage of life, I think, that next stage always has an element of fear, and there's always risk, right? It's just different.
You just got to face it.
Totally.
And it's on you to make it work.
I think that's what the gold is though. When you do feel that fear, when like you get that feeling in your chest that it's like, ooh, is this good or bad? But you do it anyway. That's like when the absolute magic can happen. I found that myself, whether it's like cold plunging or hiring or signing leases, or whatever the case may be, right? Or even just with the podcast, approaching people that may have the risk of rejection or may be seemingly ahead in some way.
What do you
right?
lose?
Nothing to lose, right?
Everything to gain.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like some of my favorite episodes have been from those ones that I've had some apprehension with, right? So the name of this podcast is the 10 million in 10 year challenge. So do you have a 10-year vision or a 10-year set of goals?
I have big dreams, but I feel like there's so much change that will come in between 10 years to have a firm goal. I just want to get better. I want to make lots of money. And behind that, the main reason I want to make money is just to look after my family and be able to provide for my future family and have stability. That's it. I used to think I was motivated by money to get things and all that, but I just want to take care of my family, I think, and then we'll see what happens from there. Maybe I'll splurge, but I always want to be me. I don't have money now. I'm very tight. I do not spend any money personally. IHF is like one of my biggest personal expenses.
Expense or investment?
Exactly. It's an investment.
Yeah, it's a good point though, right? Like, what, have you been a member for a couple of weeks now?
I've been a member for over a month.
Oh, over a month, yeah, cool.
Signed on for the year.
Yeah, nice. And you've had a number of chats, you've used the facilities, you've experienced it.
I've experienced it.
Yeah, cool.
And I can never go back.
yeah, it's a great place. It's a great community.
Yeah. It was funny, even seeing those two men that you talked to on the way out before, and then they both started talking to each other.
I know.
So how do you know David? I watched the podcast.
So good, right?
So random.
I love it. Yeah. Holy shit, there was so many people in there. I love it though. It's so good.
Awesome. Yeah. And it's all intertwined and connected. It is. We're talking about small cities before, but you're right. Christchurch is a relatively small place, isn't it? Yeah. Everyone knows everyone. Like, because I met Scott, Daniel, Ben, Levi, all at the last men's mastery lunch, and now I'm mates with them all.
Yeah, nice.
And Dave and his husband have come to work, and then I didn't realise beforehand they were giving me a test, but not realise. So for me to not realise it was them taking the car in to see if we'd do a good job.
Yeah, cool.
And we did. And then I realised we made the connection that my employee Jack had actually been on a camp with Dave and his husband before, because they're friends with his dad. So again, small world.
Wow.
Christchurch, not that big at all.
Interconnected. Yeah, how good.
I know, it's weird.
Wow. Yeah, I like the way these events are sort of tying people together as well. Like, that's a nice extension from like maybe a sauna chat or a coffee in the lounge or whatever, but to actually take things to another level. And then like the next step up is those breakfast events, like the masterminds, which will have more of an educational twist on them. Yeah. But I guess it's just hanging out, spending time with people that are similarly aligned, like they're interested in business, they want to grow.
Yeah. You say you say it's an investment, and it is, because I cannot think of another thing you pay around $100 a week for to put you in a position to meet these people.
It's a good point. Yeah.
And the value in it is insane.
Yeah.
Like just being able to talk. For me, I'm a normal guy, 20 years old, came from Cashmere High School. All of my friends are a bit lost, and some of them are on the right track, but a lot of people my age are lost, and that's just how it is. And to meet people older than me, and also other guys my age that have big dreams and work freaking hard, and men like you that have worked hard and have achieved things, it's really inspiring and motivating, and 100% worth $100 a week to me.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a good point, actually, and one of my curiosities around people of your age, like I'm in a bit of an echo chamber with IHF and with maybe my circles. See, from what I can tell, like there's this whole group of 20-year-olds that are all just super focused, driven, you know.
That whole group of 20-year-olds?
Is that true?
So small.
It doesn't exist?
I did not know it existed until I went to that lunch.
Okay, all right. So it's not even...
I did not know there were boys in Christchurch like that. And I'm stoked.
So no one in your school, like, for example, like your group of friends?
There's 2 boys from my school that have started a car detailing business now. That are not as successful as mine. But there's other people. There's another boy from school doing a videography business that he does well. Yeah. I've got a couple of mates that just post what they're passionate about on social media, and they're trying to make something out of it. Yeah. It's people working hard. Yeah. Some are, and still some people are at uni working hard. But I think a lot of people will get a shock after uni when they have to work a whole lot harder. Because I know a lot of my mates go to uni because they appreciate, they like that they don't have to do fuck all. Right. Yeah. And they can get paid by the government to go to uni.
It's a weird thing, isn't it? The whole uni thing.
Yeah, it is. Weird is one word for it.
If you were to, say, take 10 people that you went to school with, where would they be? Would there be, like, say, 3 or 4 at uni, couple in jobs, couple travelling, couple... Yeah,
it's all over. Like lots of mates have travelled. I've travelled a wee bit. I think most of my mates will be at uni.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. A few in full-time work.
And are they doing random stuff, or are they doing specific degrees that are going to lead to a certain profession, or more general degrees?
Lots of people I talk to like the degree they're doing, which doesn't make sense to me because you're thinking in the now instead of thinking in the future. You're doing this degree to get a job, and I've got lots of mates that just like the degree and don't know what job they want to do. Right. So be a struggle for some people, but everyone's got a different life. It'll work out in a different way in time.
Yeah. It's just interesting because I am now a little bit older than that generation, and so it seems like not a lot's actually changed since I was in that same boat. Right?
I've learned everything. I learned business stuff before I had gone to university. All online, all on YouTube, from people like Alex Hormozy, people that do podcasts. It makes no sense to me to go to university to learn about business from someone that doesn't run a business when I could learn from Alex Hormozy that runs a $100 million business and will be a billionaire and is literally the most intelligent man I have ever listened to.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Who else do you consume content from on a regular?
Alex Hormozy he's the guy. There is no one better than Alex Hormozy.
Bit of Gary Vee, or not as relatable?
It's not. I've consumed a lot of content and media, not just in this development space. I don't have a father figure in my life, so I think I would have learned and absorbed a lot from people like Alex Hormozy, and even in the music I listen to a man called J. Cole, and he just, what's in his lyrics feel it in my heart, and I feel change from that, and it affects me. And I think Alex Hormozy, there are some other guys that I haven't listened to in a long time. I've been listening to this stuff since I was 12, and still do now. Yeah. There's been lots of guys on the journey. Yeah. But in different facets and genres, I've been influenced a lot. And there's lots of great guys out there, great men.
Yeah, totally. What about podcasts? Have you got a favourite podcast?
Chris Williamson, I like that one. The Game, Alex Hormozy, I listen to that. Yeah. But honestly, I've watched YouTube videos more than
that's the main genre. Yeah.
Because they just pop up in the recommended, and I think I say this to people: YouTube videos are competing against other YouTube videos that might be trying to teach you the same thing, and ultimately the best one's going to come out on top and get the most views and get shown to the most people. Totally. So it's probably the best video to teach you. I think you can. A lot of people my age, I'm trying to read a book. And they think that's going to change their life. you could watch a couple YouTube videos, actually watch them and listen to them and get the same amount of value and have an easier time doing it.
Yeah.
It's just that YouTube never used to be a thing. People only used to be able to learn from books, going to a library. I think the barrier to entry to learning has just gone smaller.
Totally agree, yeah. Have you ever purchased any online premium content? No courses or anything?
Never, well, not never, but I have said to myself that I don't want to pay for anything or have any help until I do it. And I don't know what it is, but until I am fulfilled and proud knowing that I can just do it myself without anyone's help or having anyone say that they did this, they did that. I just want to do it all me.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the great thing about the volume of content available now is that you can find what resonates with you most. You know, you've got this plethora of stuff on YouTube, podcasts. Yeah,
and you don't even have to find it. Like, it'll come to you.
You're right, and that's the great thing about the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
Is it knows you probably better than you know yourself in some ways.
Yeah.
So there's no shortage of content. I think we're in a changing era, right? Like, I think books still have a value, and I still read and listen to books, but as you say, the quality of YouTube content in particular,
it's all I know.
It's astounding, right? It's so good.
I've got a list of like every video that changed my life, or not changed my life, but that light bulb moment
had meaningful impact.
And it goes into a folder.
Yeah, cool.
And there's lots of people trying to help people that have had success, and a lot of them are trying to make money off you, but you just have to watch out.
Well, I think it's really clear though. I think like if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. You know, like it's
and like you can fall for the bait one time, and then you'll learn.
Yeah,
of course. I've thought it was too good to be true. I've tried drop shipping. I've tried everything, and that's why I reckon some people from school started car detailing, because they saw, he went to my school. He's got a business. Must be easy cleaning cars.
Yeah, but inevitably they'll learn that nothing is easy. And
it's not just cleaning cars, it's running a business, and running a business is hard.
It is. Yeah,
way harder than I thought.
Yeah, totally could be. How did you find Jack, your employee?
He's good.
How did you find him though? Was it a friend of a friend? Or?
Jack and me have been best mates since primary school. I remember getting invited to one of Jack's birthday parties, and I couldn't go because I went to Timaru to work that weekend. So I've been mates with Jack since like 7 years old, and been a really close mate, and I trust him, and I feel like he really respects me, and that was one of the main reasons I trusted him, because I thought that he'd respect me, and to do a good job you have to respect me and my business.
Yeah, nice.
And he has been doing a good job, and he's smiley. He makes people happy.
That goes a long way, right? Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Jack is just such a smiley, happy guy. I love him, and all our mates love him, and I only hear good things.
Amazing.
Yeah. Of course, there's some, like, it has not been smooth sailing. There has been issues, and there has been lots of learnings, but it's great. Yeah. I would not trade it for the world.
I love it. How good. What timeline would you put on your next employee if you had to guess?
It'll be I'm hoping like as soon as we open. It won't be a full time. It'll be part-time mates helping out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to say any of that stuff, because I feel like once we're open, the floodgates could just open, and I don't know anything yet. It's a completely new business to what I'm running now. It's not even the same or comparable. And anything could happen. I just don't know anything. It's exciting.
What a fun stage.
I know
to be in.
It's crazy. And it's so different too. Like it's on Colombo Street.
Yeah,
it's the dream.
Where is it on Colombo?
So you know the train tracks that run parallel to Morehouse.
Yeah.
And the Colombo overbridge.
Yeah.
It's like right under the Colombo overbridge.
Gotcha. So how do you access it?
So you access it off Carlisle Street. So if you're heading south on Colombo, you can turn left onto Carlisle, and it's just a left.
Oh yeah, got it.
The first left.
Yeah, okay.
And also with my lease, which I found out after I signed it, the landlords were like, hey, there's 400 square meters of covered area that Kia Rail owns and has got a license for you if you want it, and that is $5,000 a year this year, and then it works up to $10,000 in the last year for 400 square meters of covered land in the city centre.
Yeah,
and you can only access it through my site, which is why it's so cheap, because I've got no leverage on it.
Gotcha.
So it again worked out more perfect than I could have ever imagined.
Super perfect.
That's like 20, 40 cars that I can fit under there, so it allows for a lot of growth.
Yeah, right.
Over the 5 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And do you have to exercise that right straight away?
So that license, that's a separate license. I sign that and got all that organised, and that kicks in from June 1st.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll get that cleaned up under there, and the owners are fencing that off within their section too, because it kind of adds value to their land.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. And the landlord's all good to deal with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're awesome. They're like 40 years old, but they act like they're in their 20s.
Oh, 40 sounds super young then.
And he's got an Aston Martin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Bloody good. Mate, that's awesome. I'm pumped up.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed meeting the other young founders?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I spent the whole weekend with Scott
Yeah.
and his partner. And yeah, Scott, what a lovely man. He actually, so my car got broken into outside the shop, and I had a really crap week last week. Lots of stuff just kept going on. Flat batteries in cars, jobs being cancelled and not people showing up. It just lots and lots went wrong all of a sudden at once after the week before, which was great.
Tends to all come together, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Scott bought me some new tools.
Amazing.
And he came in the building, and yeah,
Wow.
lovely. And
Wow.
all those boys, like Levi,
Yeah.
I've had a couple meetings with him. He's given me some advice with the website.
Yeah.
And Dave and Daniel, Dave rocked up with Scott, because they're obviously good mates, and he was ready to work on the building with me.
Really?
Year on.
He's pumped up.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Just, and I love like how passionate all you guys are. Like,
Yeah, it's
and
great.
it's just, I feel it too. Like, I just like seeing people succeed that deserve to succeed, that are happy and
Totally.
give out positivity. And
Yeah.
it's just, and all you guys are the same.
Totally. Yeah. It's a big part of the lunches that I do. You know, it's all about people that are, you know, doing stuff, happy, positive. You know, there's the above the line and below the line. I don't know if you've heard that, but essentially if you're living above the line, then you take ownership, you're accountable,
Yeah.
you're
Oh, yeah, that makes
responsible.
sense.
Below the line is you're blaming, you're making excuses.
of course.
You're generally a negative person, which it's just not good.
No.
You know?
And like, how do you not realize you're this person? How do you like being this person?
I think what happens is that like attracts like, and that you tend to become who you spend time with, and
Yeah.
whether that's a good or a bad thing, right?
And you can really see it after high school, especially. Because in high school, I was a little shit. I got kicked out of, I got expelled, or not expelled, I got suspended a few times. I got kicked out of many classes just because I was disruptive. And I ended up hanging with the wrong crowd because of my actions and because of those people in my class that I surrounded myself with. And then you go to lunch with those people, and then there was worse people. And then over the years you realise, I'm a bit of a bum. And you either continue or you make a change. And it was in year 13 business class at the start of the year that I made a conscious change, and I decided I was not going to be in this group of boys that I knew will do fuck all. I'm going to go with some other people
A different
that
group.
didn't have a group. And that was, and in that year, that was where I really felt a passion for business, or realised that I can do it. Because have you heard of the Young Enterprise Scheme?
Roughly.
Yeah. So it's a scheme run in it must be all business classes, but in the year 12 and 13, you actually get challenged to make a real business. And I made a real business. I took it seriously is what I mean by that. The rest of the class doesn't really. Well, some people do, but I did, and my group did, and it was a business called Food Fight. It was a card game. Do you know Top Trumps?
No.
So it's like Top Trumps where there's stats on the cards, and my card game, it was like Kiwi foods, so like Marmite, toast, pies, and it had the calories, protein, fats, carbs, sugar, and then you battle with the other food cards, and whatever, like you can choose the stat. So you'd go, whatever has less sugar wins this round, and if you got like a card with low sugar and they have like a card with high sugar, they get your card. And whoever has the most cards wins.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's what I did. And behind the reason I did that was because growing up I was a bigger kid and I ate like shit, and I didn't really know anything about food. And through this card game, we could teach kids about food.
This seems like it's got legs.
Yeah. We sold 500 copies.
Really?
In Year 13. Made 5 to 7 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened to it? Just
In the pocket.
in the pocket?
Yeah. Obviously.
No, not the money, the business idea.
Oh, the business?
Yeah.
Just
wrapped it up.
just wrapped up. It was,
Yeah.
moved on to cleaner cars.
Yeah. It comes down to that energy and focus, doesn't it?
Yeah. You can only sell so many card games compared to car grooms. And it was like selling a $10 game versus multi-$100. It was an easy decision.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
What do you think sent you down that bad trajectory at high school?
People.
Before the people. Like, do you think it was a boredom thing? Do you think that you weren't engaged?
Yeah, 100%. I didn't like school. And it was until like getting into business class, getting into that class, that I could really, I love this. Like, I knew I love business. I've always been entrepreneurial through growing up in my grandparents' business. I have done lots of stuff. They are the caterers on a race day, so they have like cabinet food and stuff. So when I was like 8, I sold like mini donuts, and I'd take the money from that. I did lots of like little food things up there, and then when I was in the tuck shop downstairs, I like managed that and sold loom bands. Do you remember what loom bands? No. Like rubber band bracelets that you like weave together. So I did that.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I sold them for I made like thousands out of that, like just selling them to kids when they bought like hot chips and stuff like that, because it was the craze at the time, and kids didn't want to like make them themselves, so I'd just spend all my time making them and then selling them.
How good.
And then we just constantly been moving up the ladder.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, this is cool. What's the next step? What's the downward step? Are you thinking of anything else beyond cleaner cars, or are you
there's lots of ideas. I always want to be in business. I love business and marketing and social media. I just think it's cool, and you can get so much leverage out of it. I always want to be growing my personal brand, and I've got a good start now with 40,000 followers. Technically, it's all me doing it, so it's kind of personal, and people know Cleaner Cars through me. We're associated.
Yeah.
So always growing the personal brand, always growing businesses. I would one day like to take on the supermarkets if possible. I think, or if anyone else does, awesome, good on you. What I'm saying is someone needs to take on the supermarkets, because they are robbing every single person in this country, and it's disgusting. Everyone has to eat, and I don't think people should be profiting off it as much as they are. And it's a huge market too.
There is likely room for an alternative of some sort, isn't there?
It's just going to take a lot. It's pretty,
I agree. Yeah. Did you listen to that episode with Jock?
No.
From Ellesmere Auto?
No.
So Jock is a legend of a guy.
Yeah.
His content is hilarious. He's got a few things going, but primarily an auto electrician business. But he's also got a farm.
Right.
And so we were talking about this on the podcast, and he put a call out there that if anyone wants to partner with him to do a joint venture type thing with his farm to produce some more fruit and vegetables and to collaborate in some way, he's like totally open to it, right? And I guess any idea starts with an idea, or any business or any concept starts with just an idea and a call to action, right?
Exactly. In relation to Cleaner Cars, I've still got that first like A4 bit of paper of me brainstorming the names, and that is where all this started. It does all start with an idea, and then it takes action and consistency to make it happen.
Totally. But I guess like most entrepreneurs, there's no shortage of ideas. That's not the hard part. Hard part's focus and doing. So having the choice and sticking to something, that's the gold. But you've probably already evidenced that, right? You've already seen what can happen when you do focus and spend time and energy in the right direction.
That's it, just focus. Like, we just clean cars, but it's what I obsess about all day, every day, and have for 18 months.
I love it.
And we'll continue to.
Yeah, that's so good. Before we wrap up,
how long's it been?
39 minutes.
Ooh, flies by.
Tell us about the other podcast you're on.
I've done...
They were remote, right?
Yeah, I've done 2 podcasts over laptops. One of the guys is a detailing guy. He's big in the industry. and he posts on TikTok, so he's got like 500,000, and he invited me on because he does a detailer's podcast, and he actually, I think most of his business is growing detailers businesses. So I just talked about my business, how I've grown my business, how you could too.
Right.
And that was mainly that one. And then I filmed another one with a guy who owns like a marketing agency, and that was more sharing my story and everything overall and what I hope to do.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing your own podcast?
I thought about it 100%. It's just
time and energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's going to bring me the most return?
Yeah. Totally.
I've tried. I've started YouTube and then got off it because it's not worth my time. And same with TikTok. Like, if I just put more time into TikTok, I'd see better returns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. YouTube's no joke, right?
YouTube's a full-time job.
Yeah.
By multiple people, you got to have an editor and
Yeah. Yeah. You can't just whip up a quick post.
No.
Yeah.
Even the TikToks, some of them will take me hours to edit, and you got to weigh it up. Is it worth it? Like, if I didn't edit this for an hour less, would it get me half the views? Probably not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Lots of things to think about.
Totally. Yeah.
That's the main thing that I want to express to anyone listening that doesn't own a business that is thinking about it. There's so much to think about.
Yeah.
And it never ends.
No. I think you're one of two types of person though. I think you're either an employee mindset or you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Well, I've met some employee type mindsets. I at Jeff too. And one of the guys, just a guy, he works in a warehouse and does his day to day. And I was, after that last week, at the end of the day, I was like, I can see why you just go to the warehouse and you make your money and then you do your side business and then you're happy because you got no stress or less stress. It's just you rock up, you leave.
I know.
You go to the gym after, you go to sleep. You have your breakfast.
It's no right or wrong though. It's just different, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a small overlap in the middle that you can be either or, but I don't know.
And it's a time thing too. Like, you might be a different person at a different point in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fair too. Yeah. Although from what I can tell, the hardcore entrepreneur, they will always be through and through.
Yeah. So you've got to have that hunger within.
Totally.
If you don't have that, then what's going to keep you going when it all goes to shit?
Yeah. Hunger / curiosity, right? Like, what can you be doing better? What's the next step?
Yeah.
How can I make this work?
I know. And that's growth mindset. Like, I could not imagine myself not leveling up, like, a year after year, or even month after month, week after week.
Totally.
Why would you not want to?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Yeah. But some people just have no problem.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
I can't relate.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess once you reach a certain point, there is probably a level of comfort that is experienced, and it must be hard.
Or a spot, a time to rest, maybe. Rest on the way up.
Yeah.
Might have one of those soon.
No, you got a wee way to go before this resting.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what my mates keep saying. So when are you going to stop? Like, what do you think's going to happen? Like, when I've stopped the work, then I got a business.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the infinite game. It'd be quite interesting to do a 1 year anniversary episode. I've done a few of those.
Absolutely. That would be interesting a year from now.
Yeah, so to document sort of where we're at, the current state, like just about to open the premise.
Yeah, it's a good time, actually.
One employee, you'll know where you're at in other areas that you don't want to share online, but coming back May next year, 2025, that'll be interesting.
It'll be crazy, hopefully.
I quite like the idea of like the time capsule idea, like doing that.
Cool,
it's really cool, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because I think it's easy to get caught up and to not necessarily stop and reflect. But when you look back on documents or content, it's crazy what you can do in a year. Massively impressive. So
it is cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any final words? Any final thoughts?
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
To anyone that has not heard of David from my audience or friends, check him out. I've been watching his podcast and listening. He interviews some awesome people that are really inspiring and local. It's a completely different... You get a completely different thing out of it than you do from listening to a Gary Vee, Alex Hormozy type, because they're not as relatable as David Mouse that lives down the road.
Totally.
And interviews other people that just live down the road and live ordinary lives. You might walk past them in Christchurch. Now I do, and I can interact with them and say, I listen to your podcast. That's how that's how I met Amos. That's how I talked to James.
Oh yeah.
Just through saying I've listened to you on the podcast.
Yeah, nice. How good.
Yeah. You're the connector.
Yeah, I never thought of the podcast as a way for people to actually interact with each other. That's cool. I mean, I know it sounds maybe a little bit naive to say it out loud, but the events are obviously a way to physically connect, but to actually use the podcast as a way to get people to meet each other, that's cool.
Yeah. It's just a talking point.
It's just a talking point, just
and
a conversation.
I don't know if there's another podcast in Christchurch doing what you're doing.
No, I mean, not really.
I think you're leading the game.
Yeah, there's
100%.
There's a couple of others. Like I really like the Williams Project one, the Williams Court podcast, but
they've not been doing it as much recently.
No, not recently.
And they don't get guests like you, do they?
Not often. No, they have done.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, really love that podcast. Yeah, but no, this is cool. I think there's like definitely room for everyone's spin on it, right? Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, Oakley. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, David.
Let's check back in 12 months and see what you're up to, where you're at, and what you're doing. If anybody who's listening to this wants to use your services, best thing to do would be to go on to
cleanercars.nz.
cleanercars.nz and I guess
flick me a message.
Yeah, I guess by the time this goes live, you'll likely be open at your site. So, what was that address again?
That is at 504 Colombo Street,
504.
Christchurch City Centre.
So that's down Colombo,
just
left on Carlisle, right?
Yep. Just off the Colombo overbridge.
Yeah, nice. Okay, easy. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you back in the next one.